All right, in this video, I just want to show you how to get to the back end of your WordPress website. First, you went to SiteGround and you created a domain name with web hosting, and they sent you an email. Once you got the email, you had your URL, you were able to log in and you installed WordPress on your site. Now what happens when you go to the URL is you see that you do have WordPress, and if you have My WordPress, just another WordPress site at the top, then you know that you actually have installed WordPress onto your new domain name. But if you want to actually change the way this site looks, you have to get to your admin panel. So you're going to use your URL, then you're going to put a / and you're going to type wp-admin. And once you do that, you're going to put in your username that you decided when you created your SiteGround, and you're going to create the password, or not create, but place the password in, and you're going to click on login. And I just want this week for you to make sure you can log into your dashboard, and you will see some similarities between Squarespace and WordPress. Squarespace is a little bit more sophisticated. It's more techy, so you're able to place HTML and CSS code, and you have a lot more control over your website. There also are millions of templates that you can use, and themes as well. So when you get to your dashboard, you're going to notice that you have the ability up here at the top. You'll see where you have WordPress, and you can look at wordpress.org and you can read documentation and support. But then you also have this little home page, and it says visit site, and you can click on visit site and it'll take you to your website. If you go back up here, the little house changes and you can go back to your dashboard. So that's how you can switch between looking at what your real site looks like and looking at your dashboard, which is where all your tools are, so that you can create your website. And over on the left side, you're going to notice that you have this home, which is sort of this dashboard. You have an area for posts, and posts are blog posts. You have media, so you have a library where you can add in images and videos, etc., into your media library. You'll notice that you have pages, and by default, they've created 2 pages for you, but eventually you can put your own pages in here as well. So if you had a website that had 10 pages, you would see all your page names here. If you're managing a blog and you're managing comments, you can get to your comments. We have appearance, and the first thing that you're going to see is themes. And by default, there are only 3 themes here, but there are millions of themes that you can look through. If you click on add new theme, it'll take you to the library of WordPress themes. And these are just the featured themes, but then you'll notice that there are popular themes as well. And so maybe I like the theme, and I'm going to start with, let's say we like Neve. We can click on install that. So now when I go back to my themes, you're going to see that you have Neve as one of your themes, and you can activate that if you want. And now if I go to visit my site, you'll notice that now my site even looks a little bit more bland than it did before, because now I'm using the Neve theme. And if I want to go back to my themes and I want to go back to 2021, I can just activate that one and go back and look, and now I'm back to my other theme. So that's how we get to our themes. We have customize, which takes us into customizing our themes. So this is how we can basically go into the large CSS, the CSS behind sort of the external style sheet behind the whole website. And so every theme has different options here. So depending on what theme you have, your website will change. Or the options will change. So this one has different modes. So I can select my background color for that. And you'll notice you can put the hexadecimal color in here as well. I can also go in, and there are background images that I could put into this theme. I have the ability to add a menu to my website, which would be my navigation bar. This particular theme comes with 3 widgets, which is a search, a recent post, and a recent comments. But when we get into widgets, you're going to notice that we have a lot of options. Our homepage settings, this is a static page, and we have blog posts, and we have the ability to add new pages if we want. And then you'll also notice that there's just a coding spot here where we can add our own CSS into this theme if we want to. So if I like what I've done with this, I can click on publish. And now this is published. I can click on the X to get out of it. And now if I go in and visit my site, you're going to notice that it looks a little different than it did before. And it has a navigation here with some pages. And I can click through and look at it. Now I can go back to my dashboard, and there's a whole spot you can go to work on your to get new widgets. So these are all the different available widgets that you have. So you can put in calendars or galleries. You also have the menu, so you can see that my menu has the home page, the about, the blog, and the contact. And you'll notice that the blog is a post page because it pulls from all the posts that you do up on your post section of WordPress. You'll also notice that I can go to background. That's back to if I wanted to put a background image into my web page. And then there are all sorts of different plugins, which we'll get to. So you can have plugins for creating galleries or for SEO. There are a gazillion different plugins that you can use to spruce up your website. Then there's a spot over here for users. And if you were managing a company and you had lots of different users editing your website, you can have different users, and the different users have different permissions. And you'll notice that there are just general settings here as well. So that's just a little overview of what the WordPress dashboard looks like. Again, you always can go and visit your site to see what you've done. And up at the very top, you can log out when you're done with the back end of your WordPress site. And this week, what I would like you to do is just to scroll around in here and make sure you understand all of the different aspects on the side. I don't need you to know everything about plugins or widgets or menus, but I just want you to feel comfortable going into WordPress and looking around